Welcome to Two Women in Crypto, a weekly podcast birthed on a whim by two women who are excited about the cryptocurrency landscape and have a shared passion about empowering others to step into the digital, tokenized world of the future. We offer tips, tricks, and our own individual insights as to how to begin to navigate this shift. We are not financial advisors nor experts. We are just here to encourage you to look at the possibilities. So welcome to the future. You're right on time. Good morning.
Good morning, beautiful Kelly. How are you?
Beautiful Andrea. I am well. Things are good. The world is good. Things are well in my thread. How about you? Threads.
Yeah, everything is good. Everything is good. Enjoying my coffee and enjoying watching the markets, and just seeing things transpire and like just watching us move into a new financial system.
Absolutely. It's amazing. I know you're going to, of course, touch on the news because there's some great things that continue to happen and we're in it to win it. It's going to be really amazing to watch this really come into full throttle mode.
Yeah. And before we jump into the news, I really want to do a deep dive on Stellar, but I love that you said we're in it to win it. And in order to be in it to win it, we need our computers to work.
We need our technology to work, and we need people like Mary Berger with Computer Diva to save our skin on occasions. So my hard drive, I've mentioned this before, died back during the last Mercury retrograde, which actually kicked my hiney big time. And I couldn't recover my data on my own. She even tried remotely and she couldn't do it. So I ended up getting my hard drive to her and she was able to bring everything back. And I got these are hard drives now. I know this is not a big deal, but for somebody who loves technology, I was so tickled to see these little guys. These are what was on my really big drive. This little bugger here is 2 terabytes of data, my life, and this contains part of my other portion of my life. So anyway, shout out to Mary Berger at computerdiva.biz. Certainly somebody that is a great connection to have to support your, technology. She does great services remotely. She has a system where she monitors your computer in case there's any nefarious activity. She catches it before it happens. But anyway, just so grateful, and have extra backups of your computers, folks, because things can happen. Things can go wild and you don't want to lose everything, which I've done. So, but now I have it back. So thank you, Mary. Thank you for being supportive of this show as well. So grateful.
Yeah, really appreciate you, Mary. Yep. Yeah, I really appreciate you, Mary. Actually, we have a session like right after this. She's going to clean up my computer. It's been acting like really, really wonky. I couldn't even get on Zoom. Our lives are on the computer. We got to take care of our computer. So Absolutely. Mary Berger, just yes, what a gift. What a gift to two women in crypto. So appreciate her.
Absolutely. She's got a gift with technology. She knows the language. She speaks it. They're on the same frequency. It's amazing. So anyway, that is my big shout out for Mary.
Yep. And our other sponsor, Markley Mobile, you can get a notary on the go, and it's another amazing service. You don't have to be running around town trying to track down a notary. You go online, markleymobile.com. Jeannie will do your notary for you while you're in your pajamas anywhere in the United States. So we really appreciate our sponsors. Really helps us keep this channel going as well. So we really appreciate that.
Absolutely. All right, drum roll. Are you ready to get into the news? Because there's some really great adoption stuff happening. So, yep.
All right, let's start with Stellar. So there's been a lot going on. Like Jerome Powell spoke last week, right in front of Congress, and he's talking about the central bank digital currency. So this is where we're at. And again, we have to I'm assuming Jerome Powell is not lying to us, right?
It's a great assumption.
He said inflation was transitory. It wasn't. And now he's saying the FEDNOW payment app is going live, like TikTok, in a couple of days. He's speaking in front of Congress, and he's basically saying, we are not moving to a central bank digital currency in the United States. Okay, so what they're going to do is they're going to go through our current legacy banking systems. And when I say a legacy bank, traditional finance banking system like a Bank of America, Wells Fargo,
Right.
JP Morgan Chase, something like that. But then I started seeing all this adoption last week. So I started putting like a little theory together.
I love it.
So, we talk about this all the time. When we send our USDC to each other, whether we're getting paid in the digital dollar, we're using the Ethereum blockchain.
Right.
How's that working out for us, Kel?
Super expensive, super pricey. The mafia of the internet is what I call it.
That's right. Kelly calls it the mafia of the internet. So when we're transferring USDC on Ethereum, that is an ERC20 token. We are sending our money using the Ethereum blockchain, which can be very, very expensive, especially in times of a bull cycle. Kelly and I have mentioned over and over again during that last bull cycle, we didn't even go into the trade. We walked away.
Right. The gas fees were so excruciatingly high. It was too painful to try to even trade.
Right. So what I'm finding is there's been a lot of announcements with Coinbase, with Circle. They have integrated the Stellar blockchain so we can transfer USDC for pennies on the dollar.
Amazing.
Immediate settlement time.
So Stellar is XLM, and XLM is part of the ISO 222 platforms. So it's big news. It's great, and it's happening.
Yeah, it's happened, right? So now moving forward, we are going to be able to obviously make our transactions and in Stellar using the USDC. So when I hear Jerome Powell say, at least right now, we're not moving to a central bank digital currency. So when I go and I pay for my goods and services, because this is coming, Danielle Dixon, the CEO of Stellar, said by the end of the year, we will have a signed bill, at least for a stable coin. Whether the United States wants this or not, it has to get this signed stable coin bill into legislation because all the other countries around the world are moving forward with crypto legislation. Now we have AI legislation. Let's just start with this, right? We need a stable coin. It looks like it's going to be USDC, created by Jeremy Allaire, who is the CEO of Circle, who is backed by Goldman Sachs.
Right.
Really makes sense. So if we think about it in terms of transactions, I have my credit card, I go to the store, I put my credit card like in the grocery store, and let's just say I'm paying for things with the United States digital coin, all of that back end settlement. So the shop owners gets paid, all the intermediaries get paid. We have no idea what goes on in that back end.
Right.
But moving forward, it is my theory that a lot of those transactions are going to be done in XLM at a fraction of a penny.
Yeah, awesome.
And immediate transaction.
Yeah. Yep, immediate. Everybody gets paid immediately. It's amazing.
It's amazing. And this is what we need for mass adoption, right? We're not going to get mass adoption when it costs $3-4 to send our family a couple of bucks.
Right. Absolutely. So it completely changes the game for people that are wiring money to other family members in other countries using Moneygram, things of that nature.
I love it. I love it. So let's just bring up another example. Kelly lives in Portland. I live in Florida. So let's just say, Kelly sends me Stellar, to my wallet. There's a CVS right down the street. They also have Moneygram services at this local CVS. Kelly sends me XLM. I can walk into the CVS, scan my phone on my Stellar wallet, and they give me physical dollars in my hand, and I walk out the store.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a big deal.
That's they're the first, you know. So they bought most of MoneyGram. MoneyGram, I took notes, 150 million customers in 80 countries. That's how big MoneyGram is. And they went through a big modernization for their cross-border payments, right? For domestic payments. You're a farmer in California and you have to send some money back to your family. Right now, that transaction takes 3 to 5 days to clear, and it's in a very expensive fee. Stellar Lumens is going to take care of this. Not the only one, but I feel like they're a big one. Danielle Dixon, the CEO of Stellar, is on the committee for the CFTC, the Commodities Futures Trading Commission. Danielle Dixon is working with them on stablecoin regulation.
Yeah.
She wouldn't be working with them if Stellar wasn't going to be a big deal.
Yep. We're continuing to take those steps towards a cashless society, and it's a really big step.
Yeah. And I don't want a cashless society, and either does Kelly, but we are here to bring you the news.
Right. Right. I mean,
Right.
you know, you and I, just two of us, we're not going to be changing the trajectory of what's happening here, but we can still, it's just important to understand, you know, and be cognizant of what is taking place and participate. We're not going to have a choice. We're going to be participating in the world. So,
And the thing is too, like I always think about this, like as I was an IT recruiter for over 20 years, I had a bunch of different banking clients, and I would always talk to the developers, and they were like, we have no idea how like the software systems can even run. They
right.
use batch processing, mainframe systems. Some of them are still using COBOL. That's why you have to have these guys that are like 70, 80 years old still working at Bank of America, because they're the only ones that understand how to use this old system. We are getting a modernization of our financial system. Every single bank, every institution is moving to the blockchain.
Yeah.
If we think about using Venmo or Zelle, it's not the same. People are like, it's the same thing. It's digital money. It's not, because the back end processing is not on the blockchain. You're not using XLM, Algorand, Cardano, XRP to do that settlement. Avalanche is another good one. Any layer one is going to be a better solution to what we have now. You don't have to fully understand it, but companies, governments, because of this, are going to save trillions and trillions of dollars. We all have friends that own restaurants or shops. You know, every time you use your credit card, that shop owner pays a fee. That fee is usually pretty hefty, 2%, 3%. Now you get something set up on the Stellar blockchain for a payment system, that fee is a fraction of a penny.
Well, I mean, even look at, just as a general stroke, look at like tickets for like concert tickets or whatever the case may be. They pass along those fees to you, the consumer.
They all do.
They all do. They no
They
longer are
all do.
willing to absorb that, which is makes your ticket prices go up extraordinarily high. So just think of that in time. Those things should be negated, you know.
Right. So in time, we should see the prices of goods and services go down, right? Because the business owners are going to be saving on those fees. Not only are they saving on those fees, but if you think about cross-border payment transactions, whether that's with American Express, Western Union, no matter what it is, now with the blockchain, you no longer have to hold money in an account before, for that transaction to clear, right? If I'm sending money am paying my electric bill, I have to have that money in my account so that money clears, right? In the 3 to 5 days, however long it takes. But moving this money, they're called nostros vostros account. Your account, my account. I have to have all of this money in these accounts to make sure that these transactions clear. Moving forward in the new financial system, we will be freeing up money, right? So if we talk about we're having liquidity issues, this is a solution to the liquidity issues, freeing up the trillions of trapped capital
Mm-hmm.
that can't be in the system because we're waiting for this money to clear. That is a very big thing that can help our economy.
Yeah, that's very
And
good.
I believe that'll be done in XRP. Just saying. It's looking that way. I mean, it's really looking that way, you know. And the other thing I wanted to make mention, you know, with Stellar, so we have MoneyGram, we have Circle, we have Coinbase, we have Visa,
Mm-hmm.
right? They partnered with Visa back in 2021. They are looking to bank the unbanked. 40% of the world does not have a bank account. I know it could blow our mind living in the United States, but a good chunk of the population around the world does not have bank accounts, but most people have a cell phone.
Absolutely. Yep. It allows all things.
Right? So like, you know, if you think about an entrepreneur that's living in like Ecuador, now they don't have to just do business in cash because a lot of people use physical dollars still, but now you can use your cell phone and then you can make these transactions, you know, in a way that makes it super cost efficient and immediate. If that farmer in California has to Western Union money to their family in Mexico and it takes a couple of days, sometimes that's a matter of I can't pay my rent on time. You know, I can't put food on my table for my family until tomorrow. Like this really like speeds up the velocity of money.
Absolutely. And that's a good thing.
So I'm loving Stellar. I'm loving Stellar. I also don't want to forget, and Kelly's going to add the little link to the YouTube video that IBM WorldWire made quite a while ago. IBM WorldWire does cross-border payments. They built their blockchain on Stellar. And what people need to realize and what you need to understand is every single transaction you pay a small fee and that fee will be paid in XLM. Just like when we send our USDC, we're using the Ethereum blockchain. Every fee is paid in ETH. That's the gas.
Yep. Yep.
So watch out, Ethereum. Better get your act together. I think they will, but we
Um,
got some competitors now.
yeah, Ethereum's not going to go anywhere for sure.
No, they're not going to go anywhere. I mean, all these systems are going to connect with each other, and Ethereum will overcome some of their differences, but there's so many different use cases for so many different issues that these layer one blockchains are solving real world problems.
Yep.
So I just want to drive that point home. Now, here's something that I don't understand. And I don't know if I sent this to you, but I took a screenshot. I think I posted it on our Telegram group for Two Women in Crypto. So I took a screenshot of Grayscale's Stellar Lumens Trust. And in the last 5 days, I didn't check it yesterday, but we had a 5-day run up. That Stellar Lumens Trust went up 138%. It went from just under $12 to like just over like or just around $24. And we saw the token itself went up 10%. Seems a little odd to me, but I think good things are coming. Maybe we're front running, you know, like we are early. So we can kind of ride some of these waves that will be coming our way.
Oh, absolutely. We're super early still. The next year or so, we're going to see, as we talk about all the time, and we feel like a broken record, but it is. The adoption is here, and yeah, Stellar. And we've been DCAing in, at least I have for Stellar for, gosh, long time now. So continue to do so.
Absolutely. And good things are coming. You know, decentralized exchanges are coming. You know, everybody, you could go on your cell phone, you could download the Lobster app for XLM.
Yeah.
Okay, like this is definitely going to be something that takes off. And when I look at Stellar, and they're already doing like an aid assist, Stellar aid assist for the people in Ukraine, where they can send peer to peer. You can send money directly to the Ukraine using Stellar aid assist. This is like a done deal. It's already happening.
Yep. Yeah, that's been happening for a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah. And I think when we can really start to do peer-to-peer transactions, we can kind of like navigate around, you know, nefarious things, right? Like a lot of people are like, well, is that a good thing that Stellar's providing aid to the Ukraine? If they're providing aid directly to the people in the Ukraine, the people of Ukraine are good people, right? And we want to help them, right? They shouldn't have to suffer anything because of their government or any government, right? So we always want to help people.
Yeah, broad stroke for all people. I mean, yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So I think I had mentioned, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, I had mentioned that Ripple got approval for a money transmitter license with Singapore.
Mhm.
195 applications, 14 projects were accepted. I did a little bit of a deeper dive. It wasn't just Ripple. It was Circle.
Oh, okay.
Circle integrated Stellar on their blockchain. They received a license just like Ripple did for XRP.
There you go. It's interesting
Pretty cool.
because XLM isn't, as newsworthy, quote unquote, as XRP has been, of course, based on the lawsuit, et cetera. But that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And crypto.com
Hmm.
also receives one of these provisional licenses, and crypto.com integrated Stellar blockchain.
Interesting.
So
Interesting.
let's keep an eye on this. It's always kind of been a theory that like Stellar XLM is kind of like for retail, or it's for the people, and XRP is for more for like banks, institutions, wholesale, that
Mhm.
that kind of thing, right? ODL, on demand liquidity. Um, very, very interesting.
It's interesting. You don't hear a lot about crypto.com right now. They haven't been in the news for quite some time, which is a good thing. Certainly, I'm not trying to curse them, but you don't hear much about them.
Yeah. And if we're using a crypto.com, even if we're using Coinbase, just use them as an on ramp, get your coins, get it offline.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just in general, even when things become, in full blown adoption, it's best to keep things offline, period. But
Yeah.
but to that point, just real quick, isn't it? I think it's KuCoin that is now going to be requiring KYC for anybody out there who has a KuCoin account. Those that were early adopters into the cryptocurrency journey were able to get KuCoin early, but then it became unavailable for individuals in the United States. But I'm sure there's people out there that have them, like you perhaps, that started their journey early, just as an FYI. If
Yeah.
you're
I
in the
was
United
pretty sad.
States, pardon me?
I was pretty sad. I use KuCoin a lot and it's fine. They want to do KYC with everyone. We need to be our own bank, and we
Absolutely.
need to make sure that the government of the United States is not going to make us criminals because we want to hold our crypto and we want to be our own bank. We hold physical gold and silver. We are our own central bank by holding physical gold and silver. Same thing with Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, any crypto, we should have the opportunity to hold online, be our own bank. We are watching crazy stuff go down with all of these institutions that we're supposed to still be trusting.
Right.
It's very concerning. So KuCoin, go ahead, KYC. I know there's really nothing these companies can do about it. They don't want to go out of business.
No, absolutely. And that's okay. There's alternatives, and It's all good. But if you do have anything sitting on KuCoin, you should get it off if you're a US person pretty quickly. You shouldn't have
I
anything
know.
anyway, but
I know. I still have Arweave on it. I got to get it off.
yeah.
Yeah. So the other thing is too, like, did you see what's going on with Binance?
Oh, it's been a week.
It's been a crazy week for Binance.
I did, but it's not coming. I think I even shared something about it with somebody, but no,
All
it's
right. So if you have coins on Binance, I mean, really, everyone, y'all, like, get it offline, right? We've been talking about different kind of hardware wallets. You got the EliPal, you got the Engrave. If you own a ton of crypto, Engrave is like the best level of security. EliPal is good. I mean, I'm still using SafePal. I'm still using my Ledger. Multiple hardware wallets is never a bad thing. When I hear things about Binance, the United States is going after them for regulation. The UK is going after them. France is going after them. The Netherlands is going after them. Yesterday, Australia made an announcement giving the citizens of Australia 12 hours to get their coins off of Binance.
so it's interesting. Binance being the largest crypto exchange in the world, it really is. It seems like a witch hunt, but I'm not in the minutia of all of it as to what they feel. What is the baseline for all of this? Do they feel that they have done things inappropriately? Is that exactly, or I mean, it's interesting that they're going so aggressively after it because they all want to have their own exchanges, basically. Each government wants to have its own exchange, is what they're driving.
So doesn't it make sense for the SEC to make up an allegation to
Yeah.
go after Binance and say, CZ, the CEO of Binance,
Yeah.
you're commingling customers' funds with other exchanges that you have, like Binance Europe. So they go to court. The United States judge looks at the SEC, give me evidence that CZ is commingling funds with like what that they're not supposed to be doing, and the SEC says we have no evidence.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so they are strategically bringing Binance down because they're not Charles Schwab, they're
Right.
not Fidelity, they're not Morgan Stanley,
Yeah.
and
Exactly.
I'm sorry, Binance, as big as they are not a chosen one. They are not a Sam Bankman-Fried or this other lunatic, Aaron Kaplan from Promethea.
Yeah. Yeah. They're getting
So,
ready to do that for sure. Each country will have their own thing. And yeah, I mean, yep.
yeah. So I've been watching Crypto Tips, right? They do a really great YouTube channel. So
Mhm.
there's rumors that maybe Binance will become a decentralized exchange. I hope so. They are the largest exchange in the world for cryptocurrency. If Binance went under without evolving into something else,
Mhm.
we're going to see another really hard dip in the crypto prices.
Well, and I think we're expecting, something here in the fall anyway. So whether or not the timeline is in
Is it
alignment,
Binance? Is it Tether? Is it a cybersecurity
yeah,
tech? Only
yeah,
they know, Kelly. They got it all planned out.
that's how they
I
do.
should up, but
The
yeah,
play is well written, so that'll be interesting to see.
yeah.
I've seen something about Australia or the Netherlands, one of the two, but Netherlands is going through their own. They don't even want you to own a house anymore,
Or
so
grow your own food, apparently.
they
So
don't. You don't.
yeah, so we got a battle ahead of us. So let's talk about this spot ETF. How are you feeling with BlackRock spot ETF?
It's so funny because first, and I think I posted a meme about that from Coin Bureau, but basically they scare the hell out of you. They make you question everything. And then it's like, oh, by the way, look what we have here. And it's like, woohoo. So, I mean, it's just such a farce, but it's great. It's great for the platform, the landscape. We needed to have something like that happen, honestly, to propel us forward. So it's a good thing, in my opinion.
I agree. I agree, right? Because whether we might have our standards and we might want, this technology to go in a certain direction, but that's not going to happen, right? So BlackRock, who holds like $10 trillion worth of assets, has won their applications 375 to 1. Now, when BlackRock put in their application, the SEC has basically told like Grayscale, ARK Investments, Fidelity, we want a surveillance component on the NASDAQ. So BlackRock went to NASDAQ, partnered with them to have a surveillance component for this Bitcoin ETF. I think it's going to be passed just on that. ARK Investments, right, with Cathie Wood, she put the Bitcoin ETF application before BlackRock, made an amendment. So I think this surveillance piece is coming. All of these Bitcoin ETFs will be approved probably sometime, anytime, not from now, but if you look into early next year, the SEC has 240 days to respond. So maybe December, January, February, we will get word of approval on these spot Bitcoin ETFs. People are like, Andrea, what the heck is a spot Bitcoin ETF?
Exactly.
You could go to the New York Stock Exchange and you can buy Bitcoin. Like right now, it's trading at like 30,600. You could buy Bitcoin for 30,600. BlackRock would need to purchase that Bitcoin.
Right.
The actual Bitcoin needs to be held. And where are they going to custody that Bitcoin? At Coinbase.
I'm sorry.
They're going to custody the Bitcoin at Coinbase.
Oh,
That's their custodial provider, right? Ripple has Metaco. BlackRock has Coinbase. You see what's going on here?
right. And Coinbase is ironically being sued also by the SEC. Really? So, and it's,
You know, it makes me want to buy Coinbase stock though. Think about the money. When
oh,
this
absolutely.
approved, the money that's going to be coming into Coinbase.
Yeah, yeah, undoubtedly. And it's lovely because, I mean, it's lovely. It's ironic. It's no coincidence that it's all happening. Should all be complete before the Bitcoin halving.
Well, and that's a beautiful thing, how the narrative always lines up
Yeah.
to that Bitcoin halving that is going to happen in April. And at the same time, the United States will finally get on board with legislation,
Right.
a regulatory framework for cryptocurrency digital assets with the halving, with Bitcoin spot ETFs being approved. Welcome to the next bull cycle, which should be a super cycle. We are talking tens of thousands. I mean, the money that's going to be coming into some of these projects, Bitcoin, Ethereum, two of the safest projects, but there's a lot more to it. You know, we just covered Stellar. I think every week we should do like a coin of the week, you know what I mean? And just, we're encouraging you not to purchase all of these different projects, but to do the research and at least understand our world is changing. We're coming out of the industrial revolution, going into the technological revolution, the fourth industrial revolution that's going to be the blockchain, cryptocurrency, artificial intelligence. Our world, like Kelly and I always say, is going to look like the Jetsons.
Right. Absolutely.
You
Well,
know, and not overnight, but it
yeah.
will.
Well, listening to all those electric cars zooming around on the roads, it's just like the Jetsons, honestly. So it's
Right.
all very exciting.
Yeah. So here's another fun fact. If you're like, well, I don't really understand this whole spot Bitcoin thing, I don't see why it's such a big deal. Right. I don't know why you'd say that. But if you did, just go and look at the price when a gold ETF was approved in 2005. Go look at the price and see what happened to spot, you know, gold price. It went to the moon. Same thing is going to happen with Bitcoin, right? Because it's not just BlackRock, it's Fidelity, Morgan Stanley, State Street. Look at MicroStrategy. you know, Michael Saylor just bought another 12,000 Bitcoin yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
And
I saw that.
and who's bumping up their shares of MicroStrategy? BlackRock, Vanguard, State
Absolutely.
Street, Bank of America. They're because they can't, that's how they can have access to Bitcoin. MicroStrategy holds 140,000 Bitcoin.
Yeah. And why that is really important, because there's a limited supply of Bitcoin, right?
That's
And
it.
they're estimating, I think the last time I looked, based on the algorithms, but that by 2040 or 2041, that all Bitcoin, all the supply of Bitcoin will be held. It'll be complete by then. So it's fascinating. It's really interesting. It's a great case study of just it's just this lovely little riddle. But yeah, Michael Saylor has bounced around quite a bit in the news with his relationship with Bitcoin over the years, of course. But yeah, that acquisition yesterday, it's all written in the stars for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it is totally written in the stars. And I mean, this could be one of the last opportunities that the average person has
Absolutely.
to own a quarter of a Bitcoin, half a Bitcoin. What's your goal? And what can you live without from today until maybe, like, just think the end of the year? You
Right.
have 6 months, and then that new cycle is going to start, right? And we have 2024 is also an election year.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Next year there'll be a lot of fireworks.
A lot of fireworks, you know, a lot of fireworks. So very interested to see, you know, what transpires, you know, from all of this and how high Bitcoin can actually go.
So crypto.com has their own coin called Crow. Does
Mhm.
Coinbase have a coin?
No.
I didn't think so. Yeah, I didn't think so.
And
So
according to Gary Gensler, all those coins are securities, you know, so I'm not sure how this whole thing is going to play out. But yeah, really interesting that Coinbase does not have. It's a good point.
yeah, because BNB has their token. I think I don't know about the other exchanges like Gemini or Kraken. I don't believe they
They
have one.
don't.
Hmm.
They don't. So that makes sense. That makes sense that those coins might be falling away. Just keep an eye on it. I would
Yeah.
keep, I would watch. I would definitely watch. All right. So the other thing I wanted to make mention with the FEDNOW, I really don't think, like I said, they're not going to be rolling out a central bank digital currency overnight. I think it's going to be like a de facto USDC for our digital dollar. I could be wrong, but I think we're moving this way. But I did want to make mention that part of the pilot program that the FedNow payment app did was with the United States Treasury Department of Fiscal Bureaucracy or something.
Right.
Anyway, that's $6.4 trillion from the US Treasury coming into the FedNow payments. We talked a lot. We taught a class about ISO 20022 tokens, you know, what this messaging standard is, you know, and there's going to be a lot of tokens, you know, but Ripple and Stellar were like the first two that were on this regulatory framework for the modernization of payments. So when you see hundreds of banks join the FedNow, it's just, this is part of that shift into ISO 20022.
Hmm.
This is part of that shift, right? So we're going to see SWIFT do it when the BRICS nations, they're meeting in August, and they're going to say, hey, we're going to use this currency to trade for cross-border payments. I think they're going to make that announcement in August concerning for the dollar. Those dollars will come back to the United States. So all of these systems are kind of being put in place, I think, for this next big event.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Hmm.
Yeah. Something to think about. But I mean, this literally is what the BRICS nations is saying. Now, if they choose the Chinese yuan, and they're sending cross-border payments to Brazil, Russia, India, South Africa, are they going to want a bridge currency? So, so that if China is doing trade with India and India wants rupees and China's using the yuan, you could use XRP, XLM, Algorand, some sort of cross-border bridge currency. So we want to keep our eyes on this for XRP. XRP, most of their business is outside the United States because the SEC, has been blocking them. We know Bank of America is ready to go, right? But this lawsuit could end tomorrow, right? It can end next week. It's going to end. So
one of these many moons.
Many moons. Do not sell your XRP. Hang in there.
Yes, but none of this is financial advice.
No, because we're just two gray-haired women talking about crypto once a week.
We're just talking about, platforms and the ISO 220. Yeah, it's all good. So yeah, but it's really important to lean in as an individual and figure out what your investment thesis is and what you want in if you want to invest. And, they always say, and it's a good rule of thumb, don't invest more than you're willing to lose potentially.
Exactly. This is a speculative,
highly volatile
class. Yep. Highly volatile. This is new. This is like, if you think about Amazon and Yahoo and Dell computers and Microsoft computers, think about all the other companies during that internet boom.
Right.
When it went bust, most companies went to zero. Same thing in cryptocurrency. Yeah. Most projects will go to zero, but the ones that make it, they will be the superstars.
Right. Absolutely.
Speaking of superstars, as we wrap up, because Mary has to fix my computer. So as we wrap up, because I know you follow Elon Musk. Elon Musk is talking about the X app for Twitter. Yes. Integrating payments into Twitter to make it a super app.
Yes, he is. That will be the X coin.
That will be the X coin.
Yep.
Mark it on your whiteboard and just write XLM ? There's a lot of speculation. It's going to be XRP. It's going to be Elon Musk is making his own token. Elon Musk has partnered with Jed McCaleb, who was the CEO of Stellar, left Stellar, created a company called Vast, VAST.io, which is looking to bring privatization of exploration of space by 2025 with SpaceX.
Yeah.
So will they use XLM integrated into Twitter? We'll find out.
I don't know. I mean, it's a distinct possibility for sure.
It's speculation.
It's speculation, but any coin that has the X in it is energetically like XLM, XDC, XRP. They're all very high energy for many reasons, but on a very esoteric level, very, very high energy coins. And whether or not it is, but he's had that X coin out there, or that Project X out there for a long, long time. It'll be interesting. I don't know.
I don't know, but I'm hearing all these rumors that it's XRP. So I just want to play devil's advocate because of that relationship that we know Elon Musk has with Jed McCaleb. Jed McCaleb was not sued by the SEC. Jed McCaleb is a co-founder of Ripple. He has been selling XRP through his Taco wallet for all of these years and never got, he's not selling a security.
Right.
But Brad Garlinghouse and Chris Larson is.
Yeah.
And Brad Garlinghouse joined Ripple after Jed McCaleb. Very interesting. Jed McCaleb must be like the great great grandson of like a Rothschild or something.
I'm sure there's.
He never gets in trouble for anything. Like Mt. Gox, he created Mt. Gox, which was the first cryptocurrency exchange that went to the wayside. Was he ever questioned? Nope.
At least not to our knowledge. It will be interesting to see what happens with Mr. Musk and the world that he's creating.
Yeah, yeah. And as we wrap up and leave, I just want to make a mention because I'm not sure. We missed last week. Sorry, my internet was down, so we
Yes.
just skipped it. We had class last Saturday, so we kind of caught up with our group. So sorry about that. But I did want to make mention. VeChain and VETHO have been added to Coinbase's roadmap to get those coins onto Coinbase, which is such a big thing, especially with Binance going to the wayside. It would really bring a lot of utility and a lot of options for people in the United States to buy VeChain,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
and we've talked about VeChain in depth on so many different, occasions. I really think it's going to be a big part of the Internet of Things.
Yeah, no, undoubtedly. So, yep. We are, in many of these projects, the majority of them, actually most of all of them, I have to just say, full disclosure, we have invested in and/or
Yeah.
whatever. But again, do your own research. But VeChain and VETHO are both another great project. So, yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, all right. I think that's all I have for this week. It's been fun. It's so much information. Just keep coming back. I mean, I know it's not the easiest thing to wrap our brains around, but the more you're in it, the more you will understand.
Absolutely. And be able to work through some of the fear and intimidation about the unknowns. So that's what we're here for. So
Yeah.
yeah,
And when in doubt, reach out. Kelly and I both are available. You can book a 15-minute free conversation with us. You could book an hour session, reach out to Women in Crypto. Like we're always here for you guys. So for sure.
absolutely. Absolutely.
All
So
right.
until next week, as we always say,
HODL on.
your hosts for Two Women in Crypto are Andrea Caldero and Kelly Lair. You'll find more information and details regarding the Two Women in Crypto membership, educational and informative class and event offerings, and more via their website, twowomenInCrypto.com. Both Andrea and Kelly are available for speaking events and offer private consultations focused on helping individuals navigate the future. Until next time, HODL'on.